Hey guys, so back in October of 2023, I shared a video with you guys, and I think I called it how much I make from three rental properties. And today I was thinking about this, and I was like, it was a little premature of me to have shared that video then because I think I had added that property like 6 weeks prior to making that video, so it only accounted for like the first month earning from that property. And I was like, okay, it didn't have all of the numbers, and I think it made sense. As I was thinking about it now, I think it makes sense for me to actually do an updated video of that in terms of how much I making from these three rental properties now that it's been over a year for the third rental property, over 2 years for the second, and over 3 years for the first rental property. I do have my trusted laptop here on my lap. I'm not going to do a screen record per se, but I'm going to put in snapshots from my trackers that I use to help me track my rental properties. Hey guys, welcome back to Budget with a July Dreamer. My name is Miranda, and on this channel I share everything personal finance, and as of late I have been sharing lifestyle content in the form of vlogs, which I absolutely love, and I hope you love them too. If you do love the type of content that I'm sharing, then please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get in today's video. So today's video, like I said, I will be talking about how much I make from my three rental properties. So just a quick backstory: I bought my first rental property in 2021. It's a one-bed flat, and then in 2022 I bought my second rental property, which is also another one-bed flat, but this one is slightly different in that it's a leasehold, so it's in a block of flats, so I have to pay ground rent, or is it service charge? One of those. I pay one of those every single month for that. And then in 2023 I bought my third rental property, which is also a one bed. All of the properties are near me. I made a decision to buy these rental properties where I am, in case in the future I chose to manage them myself. At the moment, the three properties are managed by estate agents, and I prefer it that way. I pay them about 10% of the rent every single month, and it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make at the moment for somebody else to manage these rental properties. I know everybody has an opinion on this. Oh, you could do it yourself. I cannot, and I choose not to because of the type of lifestyle that I lead, and I just honestly don't want to be a nuisance to my tenants. I also haven't set up yet a network of people that I know these estate agents have access to, so like the plumber, electrician, all of those good people that I need to be comfortable to run them myself. I haven't set that up, and I am in no rush at the moment to do that. So this is why I prefer to have the estate agents do it, and I pay a fee for that service. So there's no two ways about it, and I know everybody has an opinion, but this is my choice, right? So yeah, so that's the backstory. Three rental properties managed by estate agents. These properties are close to where I am, and yeah, and I think my fourth rental, God willing, whenever I buy it, I intend to buy it this year, is also going to be somewhere near me as well, just so I can build up this portfolio here, and then I will see moving forward. But in terms of how much I make from these rental properties, I am going to first share with you when I shared the first video in 2023 where I was with that. So like I said, I shared that video in October of 2023. At that time, my first rental property was renting for $925. My second rental property was renting for $750, and my third rental property was renting for $950. So roughly I was bringing in gross income of £2,625 for these rental properties, which wasn't a bad gig at all. So this was back in 2023, and I always say this in all of my rental property videos, that I have rental properties that are self-sufficient. And what I mean by this is that each of the rental property pays for itself. So the income that I make from it, I remove the mortgage, I remove the insurances, service charges, and all of that good jazz from it, and then I'm left with a little bit of a profit. I must admit that initially, when I was thinking about, buying a rental property and also the profit that I'll make from it, I had a very, very naive view. I forgot about the fact that I'll still have our costs with these rental properties that I'll need to take into consideration before I can have, say, profit from it. And I was just like, oh, if I rented for £1,000, that's an extra £1,000 in my pocket. Yes and no. Yes, in gross terms, but no in net terms, because gross, as as a whole amount, yes, I am bringing in £1,000 for one rental property. But if we really look at it, once I pay the estate agents, once I pay the mortgage and the insurances and all of that good jazz, I'm not left with £1,000. So this is something that not learned the hard way, but I ended up learning as I was purchasing these rental properties, and it's a good lesson that I'm happy I learned then and still learning as I go. Now let's look at the rental income that I'm bringing in 2024, 2025. Just so you're aware, by the time 2025 ends, some of these rental properties rents might go up in line with inflation, but I don't increase my rents just for the sake of it, only if it makes sense. My first rental property, for example, I did not increase it for a while until last year, just because the costs were adding up, and I don't want to put a lot of the cost on my tenant, but I'm looking at what are the rents going for in my area. Then I propose to my estate agents, who then propose to my tenant, and then my tenant makes a decision to either stay or to move out, because of, say, maybe the rent is no longer affordable. And obviously, if it's not affordable, then it's something that we can discuss, because, like I said, it's self-sufficient. So I want my rental properties to pay for themselves, and the little profit that's there, then I, take that as well. But anyway, so the first rental property was renting for $925 from 2023 into 2024 until last year July, when there was an increase to $975. Then the second rental property at the end of 2023, my then tenant left because it was moving out of the area, so we put the property on the market, and I kid you not, we put it on a Wednesday, sorry, put it on a Wednesday. By the next day morning, we had about 8 offers. I had to turn 3 immediately down, but then the other 5 were incredulous to me, and they were all offering about £1,000 or even 1,200. I was like, okay, I can go for 1,000 because that's what the rates are in this area, but I feel like 1,200 was borderline greedy on my part. Now, don't get me wrong, I would have been happy to take 1,200, but honestly, I just had to think of the state of the economy. And I know a lot of people tell me, oh, it's a business, think of it as a business, and I want to, but the human element of it never leaves me. So this is why I was like, okay, let's just do 1,000, because that's what a lot of these places are renting for, and I think it's fairer that way. 1,200 sounded great, but honestly, I would rather let them keep at least that 200 for now, because everything else was going up, so I didn't want to add rent to the mix. So, but in any case, this rental property number 2 went from the previous tenant, who was in there for, I think, over 5 years, and I had him for a year and a bit, renting at the same price. I never increased it. So, but when they left, then we looked at what the market was saying, and then we went with that. So that increased from 750 to 1,000 pounds. And I celebrated for like 2 seconds before the interest rates on my interest only mortgage hit me, and yeah, I was sucker punched. So there is that. So the celebration was like literally 2 seconds and it was all over. So for the second rental property, we rented and still rents for £1,000. My tenants who came in last year January decided to renew for 2025 as well, and we agreed to keep the rent the same, so £1,000 even, which is fine by me. And then for the third rental property, this one was renting for 950 when the tenant moved in. And then last year, when was it? Yeah, last year September, so 1 year anniversary from when they moved in, my phone fell. It increased by I think £28.50, so it's now a 978.50 is how much this rental property rents for. So overall, I am bringing in from these rental properties as gross 2,953.50 as gross, but obviously, like I said, they're self-sufficient, so take out all of the costs and everything in between, and then what's left is what I keep. But from the time that I made that video, end of that, I want to say from the end of 2023 to the end of 2024. So end of 2023, my overall gross income from 3 rental properties at that time was 22,287.71. And then last year, 2024, we're not closing. Last year, it went up to £34,914. Now, if I make any increment to the rents for the 3 rental properties, obviously that will increase my annual income. But because I'm also intending to buy a 4th rental property, this definitely will increase my annual income for the rental properties. And I am hoping, I think I wrote it in one of my notebooks in here. I think I wrote that I do have a rental income goal for 2024 to make £40,000. So we shall see how this one goes. And I would like to save £6,000 for the whole year, but this is actually pretty ambitious in that I literally, and I don't even know why I made it so ambitious, because I literally just did a couple of numbers a while ago. If I was to take out all of the costs for each of the rental properties, I am not really left with much on a monthly basis. So I'll probably, if I was going to just save all of the profit from the rental properties, I would have at least 3,300 left over across the year. So that's a far cry from the 6,000 that I was hoping, or the wishful thinking on my part. So I don't know, I don't think it's doable, but let's see what the end of 2025 looks like. But yeah, doing the numbers, it just does not look plausible at the moment. But who knows the things that can happen in a year. But yeah, that is the video. I honestly was just like going through all of my videos, and I saw it, I was just like, a little bit premature of you to film a video 6 weeks after you started earning from the 3rd rental property. But now that I have had this 3rd rental property for over a year now, I can definitely share these numbers with you guys. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video real soon.